Hello, namaste. Welcome to your Tuesday, March 30th yoga practice. Today, as always, please be sure to have your props available, especially blocks, as we'll be utilizing those. And of course, this week we are working with the concept of forgiveness. Martin Luther King Jr., maybe a master of practicing this art, said, "Forgiveness is not an occasional act. It is a permanent attitude." So there are some schools of thought, and it makes sense to me that all of our experiences live in our bodies, as well as, of course, coloring our perception and perspective of the world around us. So while we sit and drop into our practice, you might conjure up the feeling of anger, of resentment, bitterness. Notice what that makes you think of or how it feels. And then imagine releasing all of it. Imagine softening, allowing, accepting, forgiving. It's more of an expansive, warm, kind feeling. And so if we're carrying around burdens, whether it's of our own mistakes, of the world's mistakes, maybe an individual has wronged us, all that resentment and unforgiveness can completely change our perception of every new experience that happens. So for a lot of us, hopefully, practicing yoga is a way to ground in the present, leaving all of that baggage. All right, so today we will practice not the occasional act of forgiveness, but the permanent attitude. All right, sitting tall, bring your hands together at heart center. Let's enjoy a big inhale. Sigh your breath out. Another big inhale. Sigh the breath out. Big inhale for one Om. Release your hands down to your knees. Draw a couple of circles each direction, just waking up the low back and hips and starting to open the heart, drawing the shoulder blades together as our heart slides forward, expanding, open. Exhale, the back of the heart expands as the shoulder blades slide apart. And take the circles another direction. You might notice if you have any feelings or thoughts one way or another about forgiveness. Keep in mind that practicing forgiveness towards others in particular doesn't make you a doormat. It just means that you're not carrying around the pain. All right, return to sitting tall. Interlace your fingers, press them away. Inhale, extend your arms up overhead. Exhale, bend your elbows, interlaced fingers behind your head, sitting tall, core engaged. Slowly drop your chin to your chest as you breathe. We're not forcing our head down, rather just using the hands as a guide, a little extra gravity. Breathe here, and hopefully you experience some sensation in your upper back and neck. You can use the heels of your hands to give yourself a little neck massage if you want a little more movement and activity here. Maybe even pressing your thumbs into the tops of your shoulders, your trapezius muscle. And then let's take one more breath in stillness. On an inhale, extend your arms up overhead. Then exhale, release them down by your sides. Scoot off of the blanket if you're sitting on one. Bring your hands back behind you. Plant your feet, preparing to lift up for reverse tabletop. On an inhale, lift your hips. You might adjust your hands or feet as need be. Look down, make sure that your knees and thighs stay in alignment with your hips. Press your hips up higher by pushing your feet and hands into the mat. Now you might keep your chin tucked to your chest. Maybe you extend your head back, long neck. Maybe you drop your head back, chin to the sky. You can always lower your hips down at any time and give your wrists and neck a break. We've got about 3 more slow breaths. So lower down and lift up as you need to. Draw your shoulder blades together and down away from your ears. Press your fingertips into the mat. One more breath. And as you exhale, slowly lower your hips down. You might shake your wrists out or maybe give them a loving squeeze and release, giving both wrists a bit of attention. Feet planted as wide as the mat. Rest your arms on your knees. Inhale to sit tall and exhale, allow your spine to round, allow your head to drop. Breathe here and rest. One more cycle of breath in this relaxed posture. And on your next inhale, sit tall, hands back behind you. You're welcome to do the reverse tabletop again or inclined plane Purvottanasana, in which case we extend our legs long and inhale, lifting our hips. So reverse tabletop or inclined plane, whichever you prefer. Again, it's your option to lower your hips down and lift them back up, or to find stillness. We'll be here 3 more slow breaths. And don't torture yourself. There's nothing to prove here. It's nice to challenge ourselves, but if something is unbearable, you don't have to bear it. As you finish your next exhale, set your hips down. Bring your feet back to the edges of the mat. Once again, we relax our arms and allow ourselves to let gravity press us down. Notice where you feel the sensation. And imagine sending your breath to that part of the body. Make your way over your knees, passing through tabletop and coming back into Balasana, child's pose. Your knees can be together if you like, or I usually bring my knees out wide. Let's all flip our palms open to the sky, a receptive posture. If your head reaches the mat, you can rock it side to side if that feels good. Maybe you use a block, maybe you use a blanket under your hips. Allow yourself to get comfortable enough that you can feel a sensation of melting, releasing, of letting go, surrender. Return your palms face down, big inhale, and exhale. Walk your hands over to the left side. Really anchor your right hip back and down. Nice stretch through your right side body. Keep your jaw relaxed. Big inhale, expanding. Exhale, walk your hands across the mat over to the right side. Left hip anchors back and down. Breathing and expanding into your left side body. Beautiful. Big inhale. And exhale, come back to center. Walk your hands back towards your body. Bring your knees together. If this doesn't work for your knees, modify as you need to. You can grab a block to sit on. Come onto your toes and we'll sit on our heels. So you might use your hands to splay your toes out wide. They might start screaming. Again, don't torture yourself. But maybe if it's just discomfort that we're working with, we can find some space to breathe into it. So our tailbone is anchored down onto our heels, toes spread wide, getting a real stretch through the connective tissue of our feet, which of course affects everything above the feet. Sitting tall here, inhale your arms out wide. Exhale, cross your right arm across your chest. Left hand comes to right upper arm. Shoulder stretch. Inhale, open your arms out wide. Exhale, left arm across the chest, right hand to upper arm to guide it. Inhale, arms out wide. Exhale, hands to mat. Walk your hands forward. Bring the tops of your feet to the mat and give a little massage there, a little tapotement. Hands are in tabletop position, fingers spread really wide, and look at where your elbows land. If you put a little bend in your arms, are the elbows pointing out to the long edges of the mat, or can we get them to point back towards our thighs? That's external rotation of the upper arms while we stay rooted down through the index finger. Inhale, drop your belly, shoulder blades slide together, heart pulls forward, cow. Exhale, push the ground away, round the spine, the back of the heart opens up to the sky. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, arch the back. One more time, inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round the spine. Return to neutral. Send your left leg long back behind you. Left heel lifts towards the sky, toes point towards the ground. Core muscles are engaged, hugging in here. Right fingertips reach long in front of you. Inhale again, long. Exhale, round your spine, draw it to the midline. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, round the spine, hug it all in. Inhale, re-extend. Now bend your left knee. Right arm reaches around back. No worries if you don't make contact. If you do make contact, kick the foot up high, open the heart, gaze forward as we breathe here for 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Right leg reaches long. Maybe the left arm can float up as well. Core muscles hugged in, push the ground away. Inhale. Exhale, draw everything to the midline. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale to the midline. Inhale, re-extend. Bend that right leg. Left arm floats around. Maybe the hand makes contact with the foot. If so, kick the foot into the hand. Breathe here. 3, 2, 1. Slowly release back down. Tuck your toes, inhale, and exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Our first one together today, so take any movement that feels good, pedaling the feet, swaying the hips, lengthening the spine and torso, melting the heart down. Settle in for a couple of breaths of stillness. Breathe deeply. On an inhale, send your right leg up to the sky. Look forward. Exhale, right foot steps forward, whatever it takes to get to the top of the mat. Lower your left knee. You might want to slide a blanket under it if you want a little extra support. Inhale for a long spine here. Exhale, relax your shoulders. Inhale, lift your torso, arms up overhead. Exhale, cactus your arms, open your heart. Inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale, re-extend your arms up overhead. Exhale, your hands down to mat or blocks. Bend your left knee, drawing that heel towards the hip. Keep breathing here. Again, we have the option to bring, left arm around the back. Right arm might float up. I'm grabbing my left ankle on the inside of the foot. It's a little bit more opening through the chest. Maybe it feels better to you to get it from the outside of the ankle. I think if we're grabbing the ankle, we can celebrate however we're getting to it. One more breath. Exhale, hand and foot down, tuck your toes, step yourself back to downward facing dog. A breath here. Inhale your left heel to the sky. Look forward. Exhale, step or swing the left foot to the top of the mat. Lower your right knee. Lengthen your spine here. Maybe we inhale our arms up overhead. Exhale, cactus the arms. Lift the heart. Inhale. Stay here and exhale. Inhale, re-extend the arms. Exhale, your hands down to the mat. Hamstring curl, bring the right heel towards the right hip. This is enough. You can stay here, or maybe your right arm comes around the back. Again, grabbing from the inside of the ankle opens the chest a little more. Maybe the left arm is able to float up. Keep the heart open, collarbones broad. One more breath here. And exhale, lower hand and foot down. Big inhale, preparing to step forward. Exhale all the way to the top of the mat, Uttanasana. Hang heavy in forward fold. You can clasp opposite elbows, giving a little extra weight for gravity to drop us down. Release tension in the spine and neck. You can sway side to side. Bird's eye view here of our foundation, so make sure that your feet are hips distance apart, that the second and third toe are centered with the heel. Release your hands. On an inhale, press into your feet while you rise up, long spine. Exhale your hands to heart center. Inhale your arms out and up. Exhale, fold forward, hands touch down, left foot steps way back. Set yourself up for Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Heel to arch alignment. Really anchor into the pinky side edge of your back foot and rise up. Inhale and exhale, settle in Virabhadrasana 2. Keep in mind here that we want to see our big toe on the front foot. So sliding the knee off to the right if need be, that's engaging really the right gluteal muscles. Shoulders are stacked directly over hips. Our heart is open and wide and facing the long edge of the mat. Only our head shifts to the right, looking over the fingertips. Keep actively pressing into the pinky side edge of your left foot. You might explore the different sensations when you press your feet apart away from each other and then grip them in towards each other. Notice the different ways we can engage our muscles. On an inhale, flip your right palm to the sky and reach up overhead. Exhale, cartwheel your arms down, extended side angle. And this is where I don't usually put my right arm on my right thigh because then it's tempting to dump into my shoulder. I want to make my legs work for it a little more. So I like to straighten out my right arm on the inside of the right thigh. Spiral the heart up to the sky. One more breath here. Inhale, rise up, Virabhadrasana 2. Reach down, set up your block on the back side of your right leg. All right, straighten the right leg. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, draw the fingertips forward, moving towards Trikonasana. Set the right hand on the block behind the leg. Left arm floats up overhead. You can be looking up to your left fingertips or down towards the right hand. Glance towards your left thigh and make sure you cannot see it. If you can see it, lean your torso back in space. Also, we might decide that it feels better to bring the right hand up the thigh. Remembering it's not about how deep we go into a posture, it's about how deeply we experience it. One more breath here. Bend into your right knee. Inhale, exhale, pivot on your left toes, left hand comes to the mat, returning to this high runner's lunge. While we're here, let's go ahead and set our left block up so it's ready for us. One more inhale, exhale, step yourself back to plank pose. You can always lower your knees in plank. You can always lower in a half chaturanga. I'll cue for full. Inhale. Exhale, push the ground away. Inhale, come forward on your tippy toes. Exhale, lower down halfway and hover. Untuck your toes. Inhale, lift your heart, upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over your toes, find downward facing dog, or maybe right now child's pose is calling your name. 3 to 5 breaths wherever you go. Notice if there's somewhere in the body that you're gripping, holding, maybe you can let go. If you're in child's pose, make your way to downward facing dog. Inhale your left heel to the sky, three-legged dog. Look forward, engage the core. Exhale, step or swing left foot to the top of the mat. Right foot comes down, setting us up for warrior 2. On an inhale, rise up, Virabhadrasana 2. Take the time to check your alignment here. We can see the left big toe on the inside of the left knee. We're anchored down through the pinky side edge of the right foot. We have heel to arch alignment. Tailbone is guiding down while the core engages. Shoulders stacked over hips. Fingertips reaching away from each other. The heart stays open to the long edge of the mat. Just the gaze goes over the left fingertips. Breathe. If you feel strain in your neck by looking to the left, you can neutralize the head and neck. On an inhale, flip your left palm to the sky and reach up. Exhale, cartwheel your arms down. There's that extended side angle. If you rest your left elbow on your left thigh, just make sure you're not using it as too much of a crutch. So again, I like to straighten my left arm to avoid temptation. I'm finding I'm better off avoiding temptation in life. Breathe deeply. On an inhale, rise back up to Virabhadrasana 2. We might need to adjust our block a little closer to the back of the left leg. Lengthen your left leg long. Inhale. Exhale, hinge forward at the hips, reaching forward, and then drop the left hand. Right arm floats up. Uttita Trikonasana, extended triangle pose. Maybe you don't need the block. Maybe your hand can come all the way down to the mat. I just find that when I'm not using the block, I start to cave my spine and make all kinds of accidental modifications that compromise the integrity of the posture. So use the tools available for one more breath. Look down, bend into your left knee, pivot onto your right toes as you drop your right hand down. Inhale here. Exhale here, high runner's lunge. One more big inhale. Exhale, step yourself all the way forward into Uttanasana. Sorry, I think the sunshine's kind of washing me out right now. On an inhale, rise all the way up. Arms reach out and up. Exhale your hands to heart center. Inhale your arms out and up. Exhale, hinge forward. Heel toe your feet out so heels stay in, toes point out. Drop your hips down. Notice that your knees stay pointing in the same direction as your toes. Hands to heart center. Roll your shoulders back and down. Malasana, garland pose, yogi squat. This is where I like to squeeze and release my gluteal muscles and feel myself sink a little deeper into the posture. One more breath here. And as we exhale, you can gracefully drop your hips back. Plant your feet, slowly roll onto your spine. Bring your feet in towards your heels. We'll pass through a couple fluid bridge poses. So on an inhale, hips lift, arms float up overhead. Chin stays lifted to the sky as the heart comes towards the chin. Exhale, lower hips and hands down. Inhale, hips and arms float up. Exhale, they float back down. One more time. Inhale, hips and arms up. Exhale, drift back down. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Figure 4 pose. Breathe here. Open your arms out wide. Big inhale. And as you exhale, let your right foot drop over to the floor on the left side. Inhale, return to neutral, set your right foot down. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Inhale here, figure 4. Exhale, the legs drop off to the right side. Inhale, return to neutral. Hug your knees into your chest. One more twist each direction here. Arms out wide, big inhale, and as you exhale, knees fall off to the left side. A breath here. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale, knees fall over to the right side. Inhale, neutral. And exhale, send your legs out long, finding Shavasana, corpse pose, for a moment of rest and assimilation. Allow your palms to face the sky, or perhaps today it feels right to have one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart, maybe even both hands over your heart. Wherever you choose to go, be sure that you can relax. Feel yourself softening into the mat. Deepen your breath. Invite small movement back into your body. Take your time returning to a comfortable seat. As you arrive in Sukhasana, sit tall, hands together at heart center. Big inhale for one long Om to close our practice. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.